I learned the other day that eulogies are not part of a Lutheran church service, which means I wouldn't be able to speak at the church today. So before we leave here, I just wanted to take a moment to say a few words about my mom. I first want to start off by thanking all of you for being here and for your love and support, not only within these last few days, but over these last 10 months. Whether you sent positive thoughts, brought a meal, offered to stay with my mom, or simply kept us in your prayers, we'll never be able to thank you enough. To be honest, I look around this room and I wonder, how could this be real? How did this happen? And sometimes I wonder if I close my eyes tight enough, if I'll open them up and realize that this was all just a bad dream. With Tara and I by her side, my mom passed away on Monday, April 8th, which just so happened to be the same day as a solar eclipse. According to Google, a total solar eclipse occurs when the moon fully blocks the sun's light. During the minutes this occurs, called totality, the sky darkens and the temperature drops. Eclipse comes from the Greek word that means abandonment, because in that moment the sun briefly abandons us. I thought this was incredibly fitting because even though it was a beautiful sunny day, the light certainly abandoned us that day. The world went dark and we lost the most incredible light that we've ever known. If you knew my mom, you knew that she was nothing but extraordinary. She had this magical way of bringing joy every time she walked in the room. No one who met her could forget her bright blue eyes and her warm smile. She was so proud to be a nurse and to be able to help others. She was the most selfless person that I've ever known. I didn't think as a mom that she could get any better until I watched her become a Mimi. Her family, especially her grandchildren, was her pride and joy. My mom would rearrange her work schedule around my plans just to be able to help with the kids. If she was babysitting and Dave and I would call to say that we're on our way home, she'd tell us to stay out longer. She was there to listen whenever I needed her, and I can still hear her voice say, "Erica, be still," as she'd always make me feel like everything was going to be okay. I heard her described over these last few weeks as someone who was always so kind, a beautiful woman with a heart to match, an angel on earth. And it's so nice to know that so many others, some that are even complete strangers to me, felt that same way about her. I wanted to share a short story with you as an example of her kindness. There was one night, it was when she had just gotten home after her second brain surgery, and there was a fly in her apartment that was driving both of us crazy. And after all that my mom had been through, I would have done anything to make sure that she was content. So I was determined. No matter how long it took, I was getting this fly. I probably spent far too long trying to find him, but when I finally got him, I walked into the living room, more proud than you should ever be about killing a fly, to tell her that he was gone, and she looked at me and said, "Did you let him outside? You didn't kill him, right?" And so believe me when I tell you that she truly wouldn't even hurt a fly. While we are now learning to cope with her physically not being here anymore, the truth is that we feel like we lost her a long time ago. On June 18th, she woke up feeling nauseous, confused, and called 911. And from that day forward, we began to lose her a little bit more and more each day. It's an odd feeling, grieving the loss of someone while they're still here. After her second surgery, most days she couldn't even remember that she had a brain tumor. Sometimes I think maybe that was God's way of protecting her, of letting her live in each moment. And we will always cherish so many of those moments. Since my mom all of a sudden became incapable of living alone, Tara and I shared 24-hour care of her for 7 months. never would have been able to keep her home for that amount of time if it weren't for the help of Paula and Joey. I'm pretty sure Paula did more overnights than I did. To give you just a glimpse into how both of them put their lives on hold to help us. There was one night when we had moved my mom into Tara's house when everything started to become unmanageable on our own. My mom began to require the assistance of 2 people for basic needs such as getting out of bed, walking, using the bathroom. And because she couldn't remember that there was anything wrong with her, she would sometimes find the strength to get right up out of bed alone in the middle of the night, and we were fearful that she'd fall. So one night, without even being asked, Paula said, "You're sleeping over." And she and Joanne stayed up all night on Tara's couch to watch the monitor and make sure my mom didn't get hurt, just so that Tara could have one solid night of sleep without worrying. Even when we had no choice but to reluctantly move my mom into a skilled nursing facility, Joanne would go and spend almost every night with her for dinner so that Tara and I could be home and try to provide some normalcy to our families. It's simply a testament of true friendship, and we could truly never thank you both enough. We would also like to extend a huge thank you to my mom's cousin Martha, who reached out every single week without fail to fill in gaps in our care schedule and to make sure that we were doing okay. It's a conflicting feeling, being so incredibly devastated to lose our mom, and yet feeling so relieved that she's no longer suffering. She lived a completely normal life up until everything suddenly changed, and she didn't deserve any of this. I find comfort in knowing that she's enjoying the sweetest reunion with my father, her parents, Grammy and Pop. And if there's one thing I learned from losing my father almost 21 years ago, it's that she can protect us far better from where she is now than she ever could be. When Lucas and Emma see airplanes in the sky, they say, "Hi, Grandpa George." And now that I told them that he came to pick up me, they say, "Hi, me." We'll miss you so much, Mom. I'm so sorry this happened to you. But please know that Tara and I could not be more proud to stand up here and say that we are your daughters. I promise that I'll spend the rest of my life telling everyone about the wonderful woman that you were. You will live forever through me. My mind still talks to you. My heart still looks for you. But my soul knows that you are at peace.